We back, y'all. Episode number 2 of Keeping It 100 with your boy Elle. And I want to first say thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched the first episode. We had 92 views the very first day. Put your hands together for that. Come on, 92 views. First day. Producer, 92 views the first day. I appreciate y'all, but I have one problem though. I say thank you, of course, but I have one problem. 60% of the people who watch the video has not even subscribed to the channel. Now, come on, man. It costs you absolutely nothing to push the button. The button that says subscribe, just push that thing, man. I need 1,000 to monetize the channel so I can then start making a couple bucks. You feel me? And speaking of a couple bucks, if you enjoy the content and you love me, go and put that Cash App up there, producer. Drop some money on the Cash App. $1, $2, $3, $3,000. If you love me and want to see me succeed in this podcast journey that I'm on, drop $1, make it holler. All right? You know what it is? It's time to drop the intro. Let's go. What's going on, my people? It is your boy, and this is the second episode of Keeping It 100 with your boy Elle. And I first want to give a quick shout out to last week's guest, the one and only Satan, Mr. 666, the maintenance man himself, for coming on and doing his thing. Now, let's jump straight up into it. My first segment is called Stripping and Tipping. Now, I want to drop some gems on all my people that's in the dance game, all right? And here we go. If you like her, don't bring her to the show. I'm going to say it again. If you like her, don't bring her to the show. And I'm going to tell you why. All right. When you bring a young lady that you actually truly like to the show, it's a couple different ways it can go left, right? She could possibly see somebody else that she like and or allow herself to be involved in a show in such a way that you don't like it, that it becomes an issue for you. Now you arguing at the show. Or she can tip somebody else more than she tipped you. That could be an issue. I've seen it happen too many times. So let me break it down for you. The first thing first is this. If you don't have communication where people truly understand what you expect of them and or what you want from them when they come to the show, these things can happen. I've seen it too many times. A girl coming to the show, especially her first time, coming to the show, you met her, you invite her to the show. She comes to the show because she's intrigued about the show itself. She get to the show, you come out number 6, number 7. By the time you get on stage, she didn't lost her damn mind and tipped all her money out. Now you mad because she don't tip you. Or she done tipped off most of her money and she only give you $2, $3. Now you still mad because you feel like she done tipped somebody else more than you. And or here's another scenario. All right. You bring a girl to the show that you really like, but you can't really truly give her the time that you would normally give her, the attention that you would normally give her. And we have to always understand when it comes to a woman, attention is very important to her. You at work though. So you have other clients and other ladies in the club that you have to show attention to. she may not like what she see. Now you got problems at home. So a word to the wise, if you really like her, don't bring her to the show. I just want to put that out there. Give me a round of applause. Can I get a round of applause, producer, for dropping a gem? All right, we're going to switch it up this week. I'm bringing in a wonderful person, a beautiful young lady. She is a part of the New York Fashion Hall of Fame, 25 years of corporate retail, senior fashion designer, a mother of two. She's from my hometown, Cleveland, by the way of Dallas, Texas. Everybody put your hands together for the one and only Miss Wendy Johnson.
Hey.
Now, I brought Miss Johnson on here because she has a book that she has out, all right, on the erotic side. Yeah. But before we get into that book, though, I was watching TV last night, and I thought I'd ask you, because I know you went to Kent State. You know the whole college thing, right? You got your degree. Mm-hmm. But when you was in school, did you go to Freaknik?
I certainly did.
Okay. So, you know,
I went to Freaknik 2 years in a row. I was there we went in 94 and 95.
Okay. So did you see the new documentary for Freaknik?
Absolutely. I mean, me and my girls, all we were doing was showing like midriff. We had our tattoos, you know, the clawing up the leg. I had my rose tattoo. We did all of that for Freaknik, but we weren't doing all that crazy stuff. No.
So you wasn't worried when you saw it if you was going to see yourself?
Yeah, I was a little worried. But at the same time, I knew I didn't do anything crazy. My girl had a Suzuki sidekick, so shout out to her. They actually talked about that in the documentary, but no, I wasn't worried that I was going to be caught in some like compromising position. Okay, but it was good. Cool. It was good.
That's what's up. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I watched it yesterday, and the only reason I honestly did not watch it, I was trying to see if I saw somebody that I knew. You know, I didn't get a chance to actually experience Freaknik. I heard the stories. I've seen some of the videos of some of the partners of mine who had the big camcorders came home and showed, but I didn't actually get a chance to experience it. But I just thought I saw that because I watched it last night. So let's jump right into this thing. Okay. You have this book. It's a book called Poetry of My Lips. Now,
Poetry to My Lips, yes.
Poetry to My Lips. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my first question is, I know your whole 25 years you have been working in sales. You know, I know you flying back and forth to Vegas and all these big shows. And can you kind of elaborate on what it is you actually do for your job and who you work for?
So for the past 25 years, I've been in the fashion industry. I've been a buyer for department stores. I've been a senior analyst. I've been all over. I've done sourcing, most recently a senior designer. So I fly back and forth to Asia, LA, London, New York. That's kind of just has been my thing. So I work for a department store called Mervyn's. They're out of business now. I did that when I lived in California, JCPenney. So yeah, like I studied fashion merchandising in Kent State University. Shout out to Ohio. But yeah, I've just been in the industry for like 25 years. So now I'm doing my own thing. I have a lingerie line that's coming out. It's dope, sexy. It's called W Rain Lingerie. Rule You're Sexy. You'll see a little bit more of that, but yeah.
That's what's up. Well, we had to get, once you get everything situated and set up, we had you come back so we can let the ladies know how they can find your stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what from what I've known of you over the years, you've always been on point as far as your clothing. You always seem to have your swag, in place. You don't wear much makeup. You may get a little lipstick, a little eyeliner, you know what I'm saying? So fashion is definitely your thing. So I'm gonna give you that. So how did we end up writing this book?
You know what? It was during the pandemic. Like a lot of things were birthed out of the pandemic. One thing that was birthed was my divorce, but we'll talk about that later. But another thing was, I started ghostwriting. I had all this time on my hand. I was working corporately, but working from home, you have this free time. So I started ghostwriting for someone. I did an autobiography for them. And at the end of the day, I just thought, instead of just put work out for somebody else, why don't I just put it out for myself? And I wanted to figure out the whole process. So that birthed Poetry to My Lips, which came out. Actually, it was released last May, I think it was. So, yeah, I mean, I've been writing literally all of my life. I call it my therapy journal to the world because I write about my feelings and things I go through. Like that's how I understand them. That's how I kind of dissect my feelings is to write about it. So that's where Poetry to My Lips came from.
So then we could say that poetry to my lips is kind of a personal journal, so to speak, some lifetime experiences.
Yeah, I mean, the book is about, it's really a collection of stories. It's written in poetic form, of course. I don't just write poetry, I write all creative writing, but this book, it's written in, it's like a collection of stories that's written in poetry, but it's about, the journey that we all go through where when we try to find our person, when we try to find a relationship. It deals with being single, and it's a whole lot of content about that. It it deals with being married, it deals with divorce, it deals with stay in a relationship for too long because you're in fear of starting over. It deals with being in situationships and, when the sex is so good and you just confuse it with love. Like it's really, it's a capsule of looking at love versus lust and kind of dissecting your way through that. It gets a little confusing sometimes, but it's very relatable for women and men. Um, it's a lot of stories. It's 200 pages, but don't let that discourage you. But it's 200 pages of poetry, but it's also artwork. It's sketches that lead you into each poem and kind of introduces each poem. But it's very sensual. It's for adult eyes only because it does have some adult content, of course, because we're all adults. But yeah, so it's a great expression of emotion. It's a great expression of creativity. It's an artistic form. So thank you for pubbing the book. It's available on Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, Amazon, everywhere. It's through my website. Yeah, so the book is good. It's
Okay,
like my
so
personal therapy journal, but it's good.
okay, so let me ask you this. We have a mutual friend. I'm not gonna put you on blast. And you also talked about your divorce. We have a mutual friend, and I'm just curious as to is any of your poetry about some of your past relationships or situationships or sexual
My
relations or
poetry is about it all. I mean, I will say it's a fine line. I mean, all of it are stories of things that I've been through that all of us have been through. Like it's so easily relatable. It's it's very much a transparent view of situations that I found myself in. And some of them are not the best of situations, to be honest. I mean, who wants
right,
to be in a situationship? But
right.
it's just being honest with what the situation is and what it's not, and how to kind of dissect your way through that. So this book is, I mean, I've had people write me and say, I'm crying. I'm reading this poem about concrete decisions. Oh my God, I'm in the same situation. I've had men write me like, what does broke D mean to you? So it's just easily relatable. It's what a lot of us go through when we're trying to find our person. And a lot of us are single, and a lot of us are married and not necessarily in a situation where we're happy, but it's just a transparent look at life and situations and relationships and emotions. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, because you know,
Hmm.
and it's funny that you mentioned that. I had a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and
Hmm.
she was speaking on starting over. Um,
Yeah.
when you let's get into the divorce thing because a lot of these questions will come that way. Um,
Okay.
when you got your divorce,
Hmm.
um, and was there a fear for a certain amount of time of if I get a divorce, um, being by myself, not knowing what to do as far as dating in my 40s? Did you go through some of that? And if
I
so,
went
would you
through a
share?
lot of it. And let me tell you, so the thing is, like, luckily, thank God, I was not in a situation where I had to question if I got a divorce, like, how would I stand on my feet? Never in that situation, thank God.
Right.
But the thing was, what does life look like? And when I started dating or calling myself dating, my family and my friends were like, nah, you need to be single. Don't jump into another relationship because I've always been a relationship hopper, I will admit. When they said that and I tried to do the single thing, it's hard out here, especially for a woman that's in her 40s. I was with my ex for 18 years.
Mhm.
So with that, I bypassed my 30s. Things were so different. I got out, everybody was into all these dating sites and what does that look like? And it's just it's very different. Is very difficult out here. The 20-year-olds seem to love me. It's crazy because
Mhm.
as an older woman, for some reason we get all this attention from these 20 and 30-year-olds, which typically, they're not in the position that we want them to be in. But when you don't get that attention, you get the attention from the older man that's kind of, in your same lane, but they're married. So it's been hard to navigate. I will be the first to say it. It's very interesting out here. And I have a group of girlfriends that would totally agree. It's hard out here.
It's hard out there. Is it
It's
hard
hard
out
out
there?
here.
Is it
Huh?
hard out there for the fact that you are afraid to put yourself back in a situation that you feel that you came out of?
Well, for me, I decided to stay single for 2 years. So, like, after 2.5 years, which is recently, since the beginning of the new year, I said I was going to open myself up to dating. Um, it was like I put up this wall of what I had to figure out who I was for myself. I had to figure out what I was not going to accept. I had to figure out what was okay. I had to, dissect through all of that. Like that takes time, especially when you've been married and you've been with somebody for, almost 2 decades. Like I had to figure out what that looked like for me. Um, so I had to figure out my non-negotiables. Um, and it's I'm a work in progress. So, which is good. I think anybody that says they have it all figured out uh, are delusional, to be honest with you. Like we're all work in progresses. I appreciate that.
Right. So
And,
I had already mentioned that you're a mother of two. So when you
mhm.
divorced, did the kids come with you or did they stay with the dad?
Well, what I did, and a lot of people that's been through divorce, is you go through mediation. So what I did was, I said, look, they have your kids. I'm a woman. I didn't want to put him on child support. I just
Right.
chose to not go in that direction. And I said, they're half of yours and they're half of mine. So you have them half the time, and I have them half the time. No shade for anybody that does whatever decision that you make. But no, he has them for a week, and when he doesn't have them, I have them for a week,
Okay. So y'all,
and
y'all
that
live
works great.
y'all live fairly close to one another?
Yeah, like I bought a house probably 10 minutes away from where he is, so yeah, we're close. Hmm.
And buying a house 10 minutes from where he lived, did you ever worry about him swinging by, watching what you're doing, so on and so forth?
No, no, I mean we're good when it comes to the co-parenting.
Mhm.
But no, no, no.
I mean,
Um,
that's good to know you're not having those issues. But I could see as a young man trying to
yeah.
date you, and then knowing that your ex lived 10 minutes down the road, I
Yeah.
would be a little leery to what that would be like.
Well, let me just say, that's not, I don't want to live 10 minutes away from him, to be honest with you. I would live in the next state. But the only reason why I did what I did is so my kids can be in the same school district. So I
Understood.
wanted to make it easy for them. So
Right.
that's why I chose that. But yeah,
Understood. I mean, it's
no.
called being a parent. I get that.
Right. Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
I get
Yeah,
that. But
but I
I was
but I
just
have teenagers. They're almost out the house. And when they out the house, I'm gonna get me a nice little some kind of upscale apartment someplace downtown somewhere. I'm not, I'm
what's
not
up.
gonna be in suburbia.
Okay, so now let me picture this. I want to picture this here. So
Hmm.
you get a divorce, you move into the new house.
Hmm.
Now you got all this free time to do whatever you wanted to do, so on and so forth. What are you doing? I mean, are you vacationing? You visiting here? You doing that? I mean, what's going on?
I mean, I have an amazing tribe of girlfriends, like people that follow me online, see all of my friends, and we are like a support group to each other, which sounds horrible as a support group, but we truly, truly are. Like we're at similar stages in life. We have a great energy. It's I'm from Cleveland. A lot of my friends from New Orleans and whatever, I'm in Texas, but they so cool. So it's like I love spending a lot of time with around women that have the same likeness, mentally, spiritually. We have a great time together. Like the girl trips are amazing. But other than that, I mean, I love, some things that I love movies, I love entertainment, I love live music. It's kind of a lot to me. Whenever you come in my house, you're always going to be surrounded by surrounded by music and good vibes. Like that's just what I'm drawn to. That's what I give out. And I feel like if you put out good energy, you're gonna get good energy in return. And that's
That's
what's been returned to me. So
that's what's up.
that's
Would you
what's
like
up.
to share how old you are?
No, because I'm struggling with it.
Right, but
Like,
the reason
okay.
reason I said that, and you don't have to, and I understand a lot of women don't like to tell their age, but
I'll tell my age. It's what
the
it
reason
is.
I asked because when I was going through your Instagram, I was looking for a picture that I can use for post production, and
Uh-huh.
all I saw was these videos of you working out. You know what I'm saying, doing the stair stepper, and I was like,
Well, we
I was
work out.
impressed. I was impressed. To be your age, you
Yeah.
move very well. I see
Thank
you
you.
working out on a regular.
I do work out. I want to give it up to Brandon Bisco, Be Fit. Like he is an amazing instructor. I'm 49. I'm a Libra. October 5th is a national holiday. Thank you. I'm gonna be I know it's tough. I'm gonna be 50 this year. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a blessing. We all going in the right direction. I don't want to go backwards. But it comes with wisdom
Okay,
and knees that want to creak every now and then.
okay. But I still see you dropping it low though.
Oh, we drop it low. We drop it all the way low, 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 low.
All
Even
right,
in Dallas. I know Atlanta is the mecca for that, but Dallas, we got you.
all right. So let's explore and get in your business just a little bit more. What type of man catches your eye? Because I know once I put this thing up, I'm gonna get all these questions. You already answered that you're single. So the next thing the guys are gonna want to know, what type of man catches your eye?
I mean, I love a man that is coming to me whole. I feel like I'm coming to you whole. I've done the work. I don't want to try to piece somebody back together. Um, and it's funny because I'm like one of these kind of old school traditional, like when I was forcing myself to be single, that is not that's not my hot spot. Like my hot spot is being in a relationship. I love to nurture a man. I love to cook for you. I love to do all that kind of stuff. So but I want a man that's whole, that's coming to me with his thing, with himself together. Somebody, a good character, that's sweet, nice. Um, Over 6 feet is definitely a sweet spot for me. Although I'm 5'3", I'll just put that in there. Uh, and one that takes care of himself. You know, I'm in the gym. You've seen the videos. We work out. We do cardio dance constantly. I definitely am not trying to look my age. But yeah, just somebody that takes care of himself. And
Okay,
yeah,
so
that just
then,
brings good vibes. I think at this point, it's all about the vibe. Like you bring the good vibes, we're good.
okay, and then right now we're hearing and seeing so much over the internet about what a man should have in terms of finances, what a man should or should not do, where he should or should not take you on a first date, and how people are so much into the man's pocket. I would have to ask you, what kind of money should a man make to be in that sweet spot for you?
The funny thing is when you ask that, I got into a conversation with somebody about that, and we were talking about Kevin Samuels because it
Mm-hmm.
was some things, I might be a rare female, but it was some things I agree with him on. But when you talk about high value men,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't put a price point on that. Like for me, a high value man comes with a man of good character. It comes with a man of integrity. It comes with a man that I can close my eyes and let you go do whatever you're gonna do, but I'm not, my mind isn't wandering and I'm not all over the place because I know that you have my best interests at heart. So it really doesn't, to me, it doesn't come with I would say like a price tag, but it
Dollar amount.
doesn't. Yeah, like I saw the thing with the chick talking about, or I'm sorry, the female talking about don't take me to Applebee's and stuff like that. Like I mean, for me, I feel like if you're gonna court me, hopefully you wouldn't court me in that way. But if you are going to court me, and if we're dating, I'm cool with stuff like that. But I don't know. It's all about the vibe to me. Like I don't turn my nose up at anything. Is if he's right, then he's right.
So Cheesecake Factory is not a bad place to take
I
you.
was surprised by that because to be honest with you, I like Cheesecake Factory. I mean, no man that has tried to date me has said, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory. But to be honest, their 500-page menu, I can always find something.
Right.
so,
You see,
so I'm
for
like,
me,
that's not bad.
so I agree with you in terms of the vibe because I believe, like, first of all, on the first date doesn't necessarily have to cost a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Because what it should be is us sitting down together, you know what I'm saying, and being in a place where we can have a conversation to get to know one another
Hmm.
versus going to this 5-star restaurant in which
Yeah.
it's going to take them damn near hour to 2 hours just to give us our meal that's going to
Right.
be overpriced. And now we sitting down and we're not vibing. That's a waste of time. I would,
Yeah.
the coffee or something. Hey, okay, well, this ain't working. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. But the problem is more so than anything, people don't communicate no more. I think
Right.
too many times, uh, guys meet girls and we are very visual. So what
Yeah.
you look like to us is very important. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
9 times out of 10, when a guy look at a woman, he looking at her and he thinking, I could fuck, I would fuck, I would like to fuck. And we end up having sex. And then after we have sex, now we're talking to each other about what we want out of it. I just want
Yeah.
to smash. You know what I'm saying? You want a boyfriend. Now we
Hmm.
got a problem because that's the conversation we should have had in the beginning. What is your expectations and
Exactly.
where are we trying to go with this?
Yeah.
And I believe too many times we end up jumping in bed first, and then now we're trying to work it out. And when we get in that space, it usually never works out. What you think about
Yeah. That's a problem. People have to be upfront with their expectations. I mean, even going back to my book, it's a lot of sensual content in there. And that's you have to be open about what you have to be open about your yeses, and you have to be open about your nos.
Right.
So,
So
and a lot of people don't speak about, like what you were saying, a lot of people don't go into a situation speaking about sex. I think it's very important because it's very important to the bottom line of your relationship. Like you have to lead with your expectations.
right.
But
Well, I wasn't necessarily saying speaking about sex as much as it is just communication within itself. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I teased earlier about trying to date you knowing that your husband lived 10 minutes down the road. And me trying to date you, due to where I'm at and some of the things that I've dealt with in my time, I want
Mhm.
to know certain stuff. Like, okay, you just got a divorce. How are you and your guy getting, your ex getting along? You know what I'm saying? How often do you have your kids? Is he acting silly with you, so on and so forth. I want
Mhm.
to know these things. Not that I want to necessarily be in your business as much as I want to know what I'm putting myself into, what I'm trying to get into. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pull up not knowing what's going on. This nigga jump out the car. I mean, what the fuck you doing over here? Ooh, are
Right.
you living at the house that y'all used to have together? Do he still view this house as being his house? All those
Mhm.
things can lead to a lot of buffoonery and bullshit that I may not want to be involved in. So therefore, I feel like communication is very, very important just to
Mhm.
find out where a woman is in her situation and then explain to her what I got going on.
Right.
Right now I'm driving truck 6 days out of the week. I'm somewhere different. I'm always
Mhm.
on the road. Is that going to be okay for you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So all those conversations need to be had in the beginning. So you
Exactly.
mentioned that sex is very important. And that was one of my questions coming up next. How important is sex in a relationship for you?
It's extremely important because it lets me know if we are compatible.
Hmm.
Like I think sex is not just sex. Like it's compatibility. Like if we say the experience isn't good, then that just means, we might not be compatible from one another. I think it's very important. It's not everything. But I think it's something that you need to be open about, you need to be honest about. Um, I would never be with somebody that's not open-minded. It's those are conversations that need to be had if you're trying to have like a real connection with somebody.
Right, right. Well, now you said it's not everything or the
Right.
only thing,
Yeah.
but so is it I need it 3 times a week? I need it once a week. I need, especially at this age, you know what I'm saying? People tend
Yeah.
to, your sex drive is a whole lot different as an older woman and as an older man. We tend to be like horny dogs at a young age when women usually have the strength and they're taught to, you know, be careful with and or selective with their stuff when we're trying to make it do what it do. And we try to knock down every wet spot we can get hold to as a young man. And then over time, we get to a point where the dick don't get hard like it used to. Sorry if I
Yeah.
forget, I'm just being real. Where it was a point in time in our life when we wake up every morning, the thing is already hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, at the age 50, some guys are more fortunate than others. They have to take the little blue pill or the honey pack or whatever their situation is in order to be the guy that they need to be or want to be. So those conversations uh, should be had, of course, but how important is that though?
I
You got to
mean, I think,
hold on real quick. You got a really
okay.
good guy. He treats you like you want to be treated. He pampers you. He buys you things. He calls and he texts in the morning. Get the good morning text. Hello, beautiful. All he do all that good stuff. Sex is whack.
That's a problem. That means we're not compatible.
Okay.
I mean, that's for a woman that's seeking gifts and, all of this and that. For me, I'm seeking like a real organic connection. Like we should organically connect in in every way. That's what I'm looking for. So
Okay.
if the sex is whack, that means we not mm-mm.
Okay.
It's
So then,
something that, yeah, we're not aligned in that area, and that's a problem.
okay. So let's flip it.
Hmm.
Sex is the bomb. Orally, penetration wise, everything. But
Hmm.
his money fucked up. You leave home, he on the couch playing video games. You come home, he on the couch playing video games.
Mm-mm. I mean, for me, you gotta okay, so you asked me how old
Yeah.
I was. I told you
Mhm.
I was 49. For me, that's an issue. That means we're not aligned. Like I need somebody where I'm aligned. If you're playing video games, like I have a 17, I have a 16-year-old and a almost 18-year-old. If I'm leaving the house and he's like my 18-year-old, it's a problem. That's that's just going to be a plaything. Like I can't have a relationship with that.
So you saying this some of them is to play with, not to stay with, huh?
Facts.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So let me ask you
I'm
this then.
scared. No, don't ask. What?
So let me say this then.
Hold
You
on.
know, don't get scared, don't get shy now.
Hold
So
on.
you say
Let me
some
drink my
are to play
crown.
with, not to stay with.
Hmm.
And with that being understood, what makes you make that decision?
I mean, for me, it's different for other women. I'm not looking for something to just play with. Like I'm looking for something to stay with. So, if I was looking for something to play with, cool. That's probably what I was looking for the past couple of years since I've been divorced, but I'm going on year 3. I'm not looking for that anymore.
But see, the thing is, once sometimes you don't actually know what's right until you get in that situation.
Till you
So
start
what's more
playing with it.
important? I mean, if you only had a choice of the two types, the guy with the good dick that ain't got shit, the guy that got it all who can't
Hmm.
do it. I mean, where you at?
Let me tell you, I have a poem in my book. It's titled Broke D.
Hmm.
And the poem is from a conversation I had with a guy friend of mine
Hmm.
that was dating this chick, this lady, sorry. And they were engaged. She bought her a house, he bought her a car, all of this stuff, right? She had kids before him. She shipped her kids to stay with her mom.
Wow.
She only wanted to,
Hmm.
so the mother aspect was, it was questionable for him, but whatever. He got her pregnant. She had a child. So he found out she was sleeping with this other guy. They broke up. So I talked to him and I said, well, damn, why y'all stay together for so long?
Hmm.
And he said, man, Wendy, that Pete, that Pete was off the hook. So I said, wow, okay. So some people that like, and then I talked to my girlfriends about it. And sometimes it seems like people that's really, really, really good in bed, they don't have a lot going for themselves, other than being really, really good in bed. So that's when you just have to question, like, are you okay with that? Or are you not okay with that? Like you just have to either you're gonna open the door or you're gonna close the door.
Well, I guess when you real good at sex, that means you've had a lot of practice. So, you
You've
know,
had a lot of practice and
right.
it's
So if you
great.
got a man that's really truly about his business and he's handling it and he has a business and his credit score is good and he's able to do all
Yeah.
the other things, that's because he's focused on that versus a man who is focused on how to kiss you below your waist and all those
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
it depends. Like you gotta dig into the mental. Like, is it just gonna be sex? Like if it's just gonna be sex, like what we gonna talk about in a couple of weeks? Like is it just, or do we maybe you don't need to talk? Cool. So it just depends on what it is that you're looking for. Like for me, I want both. I
You want
want amazing sex. I
amazing,
want an amazing connection.
amazing
I want
connection.
amazing vibes. I want us to be able to do this, that, and the other together. Like I just want it all. I feel like I bring it all to the table, so I just want you to bring it all to the table.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, the one thing I did like the fact that you said what you bring to the table. A lot of women, for whatever reason, are very delusional when they get to
Hmm.
talking about what you bring to the table, even getting offended if someone says, "What do you bring to the table?" And before you
Yeah.
say something else, I want you to hold that thought. I'm sitting here sipping on Bomade.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna run this commercial real quick and play some bills. And we're
Not
gonna come
trying to
back.
get under you, I just wish to be under you. She like, what that mean? Sipping that lemon lean. Girl, come here. Let me tear your skin off, tear your body off. Oh, girl, where your heart at? Let me put your heart back. Oh.
Yeah. Bomade lemonade, Bomade Vodka, black owned, distilled right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I want to give them a round of applause real quick. I'm sipping on Bomade. That's my drink of choice.
Amen to that shit.
So you single, but you're a mom. One of the things I've had issues with over time is the balance. How to figure out the balance between family, balance between children, and my hustle. I know you travel very often, like you said, London, Paris, so on and so forth, Vegas, to all these different shows in which you're buying designer wares for these different stores and whatnot. So, how do you create a balance and still be that wonderful mom? Because I see the pictures in your Instagram. Not that I was snooping, but I was. Um, I see the pictures, and you seem like you guys are a very close knit family. So, how do you create that balance?
It was more difficult when the children were younger. But my kids now are teenagers. Like my son is on his way to college, and
Right.
so they've gotten used to me just having this type of career and being able to travel. And they benefit from it. like
Right.
that's just stacking up the airline miles so that I can take them on vacations, a couple of times a year. So yeah, it's always a balance. I mean, being a mom is who I am. Being a career woman is who I am. A designer is who I am. A writer is who I am. So I just take all of it in stride. Like God has just given me the ability to not put one down, to be able to pick the other one up. Like I've been able to do them all in tandem together. So
That's what's up. Now, you being a
mhm.
mother also leads into my next segment. The next segment is called What the Hell? And I've seen some stuff on the internet. And what I like to do is bring somebody else in and get their take on it. And I thought this was the perfect take due to the fact that you are a mother. So I want to get your view on this. Producer, get it to me.
I mean, it's cute, but baby girl's hair hasn't even grown in. So I just feel like adding product and stuff like that, might take her hair out. I would just be worried about that.
Well, first of all, I want to say this here. I'm not for certain, and I'm going to do a little more digging, but I thought that was a little boy, first of all.
Oh, I thought it was a little girl.
I thought that was a little boy. I'm going
Oh,
to do some more digging into that situation to know for sure because I don't want to lie on nobody. But
yeah.
even if it is a little girl, I think they was doing way too damn much. Um,
Yeah.
as
It's
my
like the
daughters, as my daughters have grown, even my youngest daughter, she did dance class and she's a cheerleader and stuff like that. I always felt that she shouldn't even be wearing makeup until a certain
yeah.
age. So me and her mother would get into it about her even wearing theater makeup at first, let
Hmm.
alone put any type of chemicals in her hair, any type of weaves or processes. That would just be totally out of pocket in my way. And me and my kid's mother would have a fight behind that.
Yeah, I mean, they just age the kids too much nowadays. Like it's so sexualized and everything. Like we have to watch our daughters for sure. Um, but yeah, it's like everything is just it's just going way too fast. I would say a no to that.
Unfortunate but true. Not only do you have to watch your daughter, you have to watch your sons.
Yeah, like everybody.
You
It's
know,
crazy right now.
um,
Yeah.
you know, this, like you said, if you think about it, every TV show for some reason, you know, has some version of uh, gender twisted
Mm-hmm.
sexuality. I don't,
Right.
every TV show that we're watching on TV, I don't want to say anything to offend anybody. Well, at the same time, fuck it. If I offend them, they just offended. Uh,
Yeah.
every time I turn on a damn TV, no matter what I'm looking at, there is some type of gender bending on every single show. Now, as I was coming up in Cleveland, of course, we didn't have TVs. I mean, not TVs, but we didn't have cell phones with all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff on the internet. We didn't have Facebook and all that stuff. I get it. So therefore, the stuff was happening, but we didn't see it as much. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I truly feel that there is a media agenda that's kind of twisting the airwaves, man, and feeding our kids because they can't get to the grown folks. So they try to give it to the young folks at a young age. And it's
Yeah.
over sexualizing our girls and it's pushing our young men to
Right.
go in a different direction, man. It really bothers me. So I'm not going to get into that. Maybe that'll be another conversation on another show for another day because I have
Yeah.
a whole different spiel on that. But yeah, you really got to watch all your kids, not
Mm-hmm.
just your girls, but your boys too.
And it's not just the adult shows. I mean, it starts with cartoons, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, and I didn't really see it at first because I never watched the TV show or the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But at a very young age, my son's mother wouldn't allow him to watch SpongeBob. And it
Oh.
wasn't until as a grown man later on in life that I started kind of looking at certain things, and I
Mm-hmm.
could see where there's some questionable subject matter in the
Yeah.
cartoons,
Right.
and then also you see different stuff like even with the DC comic situation. Well, it was a thing where they was taking Robin and making him gay.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So cartoons that we've seen over the years being redone and put out. Scooby Doo. We grew up
Mm-hmm.
watching Scooby Doo. They made
Mm.
one of the girls bisexual. You know,
Oh.
uh, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of that going on, man. So you definitely got to watch your kids. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here having a wonderful conversation with you, and I want to say, first of all, thank you for coming on here.
Of
And
course.
boy, you
That's for
Asian,
Cleveland.
you Asian like fine wine.
Hey,
Uh,
you too.
I
Thank
know,
you.
I'm gonna get some views behind this one. You sitting there with the girls almost out. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that shit.
That ain't
Yeah,
Whatever.
amen to that shit. So tell us about the lingerie line. Yeah, let's talk about the lingerie line.
Yeah, so I just started working on it. It's well, not just, it's a couple of months old. It's called W Rain. If you see my book, my alter ego is W Rain. So W stands for Wendy, and then Rain is REIGN, and it means to rule.
Mm-hmm.
So the lingerie line is called W Rain Lingerie. It's rule, you're sexy. Um, it's very sensual. It's beautiful pieces that will make everybody just look, everybody body like just look even better than it already does. But it's a very sexy line. The first collection is called Love versus Lust. Of course, that ties back into my book, Poetry to My Lips. But the love line is full of lace and embroidery. The lust line is very spicy. The love line is a little spicy too, I will say, but the lust line is very spicy and it's sheer and hardware. Uh, and straps and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Okay, so let me
you'll
ask you
see
this.
some. Uh-huh.
What does your lingerie line cater to? Is it just women or is it male and female stuff?
Well, it caters mostly to women.
Mhm.
I do have a couple silk pieces for men, and it's just like boxers with a silk robe. So it's very simple for men.
Mhm.
But I'm curious to know what men actually want when it comes to lingerie. When I think of lingerie, I typically think of women. If it's something that men want, then I definitely want to know, and I would definitely design it for you.
Okay, fellas.
So
So
yeah.
y'all heard what she said. You know, if you have an idea of what you would like to wear as a man, that would be considered lingerie. I think the name would even be different. I don't think
Mhm.
lingerie is the right actual name for it. Maybe it's more so loungewear.
Yeah, maybe so. Loungewear, yeah.
Something that you would like to wear. I mean, is would it be a maybe a matching set? I don't
Mhm.
know. What would that look like? Because I've always heard that a suit was like lingerie to a woman.
Oh,
A man's suit was like a lingerie to a woman. That's what I've always heard.
that's
So I've
true.
never known for a man really to wear uh,
Lo-
lingerie.
Loungewear, yeah. But when you take that suit off, what do you want us to see? So
Well,
that's why it's like 99% for women, of course.
right.
But I do have one outfit in there that is that's a silk robe with silk boxers. So,
Yeah. Well, I definitely think the boxers.
mhm.
I don't know about necessarily silk, but
Okay.
some type of uh, boxer brief more so.
Okay.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
a brief man.
Yeah,
Well, I'll have to get with you and collab on that.
yeah, something that you know what I'm saying that hugs that shows just enough. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But you could wear your robe or match with the matching robe. You know, that'd be some
Hmm.
suave shit. She come over, you got your cigar, your drink. You
Right.
understand? And you waiting on
Right.
her. Come on, baby, come
Yeah.
on up in here and get
Yeah.
all
So
this I got to give.
maybe I'll come out with a bourbon and cigar line for the men. I don't know.
Okay,
So we'll
okay.
see. We'll
Whatever you
see.
decide to do, I will be the first model for you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. We got to rep Cleveland. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
But I really truly appreciate you. Tell them how they can get your book.
Okay. No, it's if you want to order it directly through me, you can get a signed copy. The website is wrain.square.site. So it's wrain, WREIGN .square.site. You also can order it through Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles. It's sold out currently, but you can check Barnes and Nobles and see if it's there. But I would love to send you an autographed copy. You can go on the site now. I also have merch, a shirt, a hat, you know. So yes, thank you so much. I appreciate being here. And yeah.
But you gotta tell them what's your social media?
Oh, my social media. Well, my personal social media is I normally check Instagram. It's Fly Like the Wind. And my name is Wendy, Wendy. So wind is WEND. So Fly Like the Wind is how you follow me socially on Instagram. As far as the book site is W Rain Poetry on Instagram. So yes, I have a TikTok site. I'll be honest, not a lot on there. I think I have one poem that I recited on TikTok. Still, need to grow that. It's hard to stick up. It's too much going on. I don't know. I'm like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. Like it's a lot. So Instagram is the majority for me.
All right, that's what's up. Well, once again,
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you coming on here, kicking it with your homie.
Thank you.
You look amazing. And
You do too. Thank you.
being 49, you doing it. I mean, you doing it. I mean, I
You
guess
try.
50 is a new 20, baby. Because if I didn't know no better, I would have thought if I didn't know no better, if I didn't know you, I would very much so think that you could possibly be in your late 20s. I give you
What?
that. I give you that.
I'll take it. Thank you.
All
I
right. Well, you
appreciate
enjoy
that.
the rest of your evening. Try not to hurt yourself.
I won't.
Finish your drink, and we'll talk again real soon. All right.
Boom.
Y'all make sure y'all
Thank
go ahead and
you.
get that book. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm. Well, man, hey, erotic poetry. I think that was a very good conversation. It seemed like it was very honest and genuine. If you like erotic poetry, you should definitely check her out. One thing for certain, two things for sure. I'm telling you from experience, she's good people. And what I'm finding out is people follow people online that they can relate to. And there's a lot of women out there because I've had conversations with women who are trying to figure out how to date at the age 40. After being in a relationship or being married for so long, now being back out there. And it's weird outside. It is definitely weird outside. So with that being said, I believe you could truly relate to that young lady. So y'all make sure y'all check her out on Instagram, Fly Like the Wind, and ask the questions. I don't have all the answers. She don't have all the answers, but at the same time too, ask the questions. If you got some questions for me, like I said before, I'm that guy and I'm gonna keep it 100. Whether it's your husband, your boyfriend, your side nigga, your son, your daddy. The questions that you want to ask the man in your life, if you can't get the answer from him, ask me. I promise you that I'll do my best to give you the absolute truth. And if I can't give you the answer for it, I'm going to do my research and get back with you. I thank you for tuning in to my second episode. It's a wrap, but I need y'all to subscribe. Tell a friend. Send them the link. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So I can get to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, we want to get to 2,000. I appreciate you because you don't have to do it. And I understand it. I ain't mad. I'm still going to ask you, though. And until I see you again, I'll holler.